That's right. Today on The Debaters, talkmates would be arguing, Africa, can we attribute the key challenges we face to our leaders or to our people? It's going to be the head-to-head and persuasive speeches today. All talkmates have been asked to prepare for both sides of the argument. Debater 14 from the ledge will affirm that the leadership core of Africa is at fault. You have Atiku on the opposing side.
Good day, judges. Africa, it is a great and terrible crime when our leaders and our heads of government fail us. But the greatest crime of all is when we fail ourselves. Now, I want to thank my opponent for mentioning the challenges that African leadership has posed in the past. However, this debate is about the current key challenges we face as a continent. Furthermore, not all examples of African leadership is bad. For instance, I think Nelson Mandela had a successful fight against the apartheid regime in South Africa. Please be aware that there is no government in the world that has enough resources to cater for its citizens. In Europe and America, for instance, citizens are taxed as highly as 50% for the government to cater for them. It is a complete exercise in self-delusion to believe that any government can take care completely for a people. The onus then falls on the citizens to take on some measure of responsibility. Now, Africa's challenges can be summed up in that of economic growth and development. So the question now is, what drives economic growth and development in a continent? Studies conducted at the Harvard Business School prove that the main driver for economic growth and development in a nation is small and medium-scale businesses owned by the citizens of that nation. The Royal African Society reports that in high-income countries such as Canada and the UK, small businesses and medium-scale businesses contribute as much as 50% of the gross domestic product, whereas in Africa, it only contributes as little as 10%. Clearly, the African citizens haven't been enterprising enough to develop their own businesses to boost the economic output of our continent. In closing, I'd like to say this. Malaysia in the 1960s was one of the poorest countries in the world. The Malaysian citizens left Malaysia to come to Nigeria to borrow palm kernel seeds and went back to their country. Today, Malaysia is the world's largest exporter of palm oil. It has even surpassed Nigeria, whom they borrowed from. Today, Malaysia boasts a far stable and healthier economy than Nigeria. This goes to show that economic success and advancement is far more dependent on the citizens than on the leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, our problems are directly tied to our people. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Temiloluwa Atiku. Time for cross-examination.
Atiku,
Yes, ma'am.
you said the development of Africa is tied to our people. You're one of those citizens of Africa. What would be your contribution?
Okay, I think this is quite a personal question. I came across a study a few years ago that described the fact, and I think I've mentioned it here before, that you have 195 countries in the world, but Nigeria is actually number 2 in food importation. If you look at the world today, the world's food inventories are the lowest in 30 years. We're currently having droughts in Kenya and in other places in the world. There was a time when it wasn't the case, but now no one has gone into the farming business. Everyone wants, a white-collar job. So one of the things, my contribution to Africa, when I do get the chance, would be to invest heavily in feeding our own people in agricultural sector. That's the straight answer.
Thank you very much, Atiku.
Thank you.